Welcome back, and thanks again for being with us. Two Republican lawmakers are the leading candidates to become the next Texas House Speaker when the new session begins in January. That includes State Representative Dustin Burrows, a Lubbock Republican working to cobble enough votes together from his colleagues to beat State Representative David Cook and lead the lower chamber. This afternoon, we're going to look more into Burrows' past with Jasper Scherer from the Texas Tribune. Jasper, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Representative Burrows has quite the lengthy history with the House. I want to take a look back, though, 5 years ago. There was a bit of a controversy that caused him to step away from the spotlight. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, I think the cliff notes there is that Dustin Burrows, who was kind of a top lieutenant to the then Speaker at the time, Dennis Bonnen, the House had just come off a session where they had passed kind of a successful slate of, fairly moderate legislation by today's standards, focusing on public school funding and property tax reform. And Speaker Bonnen, Dustin Burrows were found to be meeting with a conservative activist, Michael Quinn Sullivan, sort of trying to engineer almost a quid pro quo where they would give Michael Quinn Sullivan a list of names of lawmakers to target in the upcoming primaries who they didn't like, in exchange for Michael Quinn Sullivan's giving Michael Quinn Sullivan access to the House floor, which is a valuable tool. So, and the kind of the context there too is that that Sullivan is this conservative activist who is now behind a lot of the opposition to Dustin Burrows' attempt to get the Speaker's gavel. So that incident led to the downfall of Bonnen and Burrows 5 years ago, and now it's sort of rearing its head again 5 years later.
And of course, we don't know what will come in January when the session begins and the lawmakers vote on who will become Speaker. But talk to us again about where things stand at this point in the race for the Speaker.
Yeah, it's sort of at an impasse at the moment. The House Republican caucus, all the Republicans in the Texas House, met recently to attempt to select their nominee for who they're all supposed to support when the official vote for Speaker takes place in January on the House floor. David Cook, the main rival of Dustin Burrows, who's kind of the chosen candidate of the farther right faction of the House and the folks who want to, overhaul the way that business is done in the House, decentralize power from the Speaker, and just kind of shake things up. David Cook emerged as the chosen nominee from that meeting, but it was still a pretty splintered caucus, and a bunch of Republicans stuck with Dustin Burrows. And Burrows put forth a list of supporters that also included Democrats, where he said that he had enough votes to become Speaker, the bare minimum 76 votes out of the 150-seat chamber. But some names on that list have since asked to be removed and stay non-committal. So at the moment, Burrows is below the 76 vote threshold, and Cook is even farther below the 76 votes. So they're kind of both playing a lot of behind the scenes, kind of behind the scenes chess to try to get members over to their side before mid-January when the official vote takes place.
Yeah, lots of fascinating conversations happening right now. We are seeing those two camps forming on either one of these candidates, both for Cook and for Burrows. What are their visions for the next legislative session in the House?
Yeah, I think the one sort of aspect of all this is that Burrows is often framed as sort of the more moderate option, whereas Cook is the more conservative speaker, and that is true to an extent. The folks that they are aligned with generally, Cook lines up with more of the rightmost faction, and Burrows, of course, as I mentioned, is relying on Democratic support to an extent for his path to the gavel. But that being said, Burrows also has a highly conservative track record, has supported just about all of the sort of the major Republican priorities that we're all familiar with from the last several years: abortion bans, border security spending. So I think there is maybe a bit of a difference in some of the most ambitious right-wing conservative policies could have a clearer path of getting through the House under a Speaker Cook, but Dustin Burrows would, conservatives out there would be rest assured that they would still see a very conservative session for the House. And I think just beyond that, there's some kind of inside baseball on changing how the House runs and sort of, like I was saying, decentralizing power from the Speaker, trying to strip power from Democrats to kind of gum up the works and make life difficult for Republicans. So there's some procedural stuff and also a bit of ideological, of conservative policy matters at play here too.
Yeah, it'll be so interesting to get into the weeds a little bit about how some of these rules and regulations work in the House. But in our final few seconds, Jasper, I'm wondering what's happening outside the Texas Capitol, because there's a lot of other voices weighing in on this speaker's race.
Yeah, it's sort of fascinating, and just in the sense that the Texas House Speaker races have traditionally been pretty insular affairs where it's the 150 members who are voting, but in this case there have been just a sort of a pressure campaign from mostly coming from the right, from Cook's supporters, just trying to essentially threaten primary challenges, threaten to censure members who support Dustin Burrows, which it's sort of up in the air, but there's the prospect of trying to keep those Republicans off the primary ballot and force them to run as independents. So it's still early on that front. We don't really know how all that's going to shake out, but the arm twisting from outside the Capitol is definitely happening right now.
The drama is only beginning. Jasper Scherer, thanks again for joining us. He's with the Texas Tribune. We appreciate it.
Thank you.